Hey there, this is Dr. Quartell, and welcome back to the podcast where we break down the science of living stronger, healthier, and more energized, literally one pillar at a time. And if you're new to the podcast or if you're new to my work, we're doing the DREAM protocol and part of the Quartell chiropractic protocol. The DREAM protocol stands for diet, rest, energy and metabolism, anatomy and fitness, and mental resilience. These are the five components of optimal health, things that you can address, things that are part of functional medicine and lifestyle medicine. And today we're going to be tackling a big one. It's the one that's got the most mystery surrounding it. It's also the one that really ties everything together. And it's often also the single most understood, but the most powerful component of the entire dream framework. And I say that because energy is like, well, what is energy? Right? The energy that I'm talking about in the dream protocol, the dream program, it's something that is within us. Like, oh, it's my cardiovascular, how fast I can run, or how much energy do I have? Do I feel tired? But where does it come from? How do we make it? And what builds it, bit by bit. And the same thing that makes it so, honestly frustrating to understand is also the part that makes it most fascinating, right? The other parts of the dream protocol, the diet, pretty straightforward. What you eat whole foods, eat good, healthy foods, eat organic, farm to table. You'll feel better. Sleeping, you can understand that. Go to bed at a reasonable hour. Get full REM sleep and deep sleep, wake refreshed, 8 hours. Anatomy of fitness, your mental resilience. We can talk about all those things and understand them bit by bit, but energy, it's kind of like the weird kid at the party, right? It's like esoteric. Like, I don't know where they fit in. Like, they're pretty cool once you get to know them, but I don't know, they're a little elusive, right? But it's the sum of everything else you're doing, plus a whole bunch of microscopic stuff that's happening inside the cells, inside your microbiome, stuff you can't even see, that's happening on a biochemical level. So let's break down actually what we mean when we're talking about energy. When we're talking about cellular energy production, specifically what's happening in all the cells and what's happening in our microbiome that's providing us with fuel for the rest of our body. Inside our cells, we have these organelles, these parts are called mitochondria. You might remember them from high school biology. They're little organelles in the cell that produce the energy. We sometimes used to call them the powerhouse of the cell. Mind you, I went to high school back in the 20th century. And unless you were a real biology major, you just memorized it for the test, and that was it. But the mitochondria literally determines whether you're ready to conquer the world or to snooze every single time the alarm goes off in the morning. I understand that there's energy made in the cellular fluid, in the cytoplasm, not just the mitochondria, but we're going to talk specifically about the mitochondria, right? So think about people in your life. There's somebody who's always bouncing off the walls. They always have tons of energy. They never need coffee. They volunteer for the 6 a.m. workout class, and then they have energy left over. 10 p.m. they're around the house cleaning and doing laundry, washing dishes, and then they're never ready for sleep or rest. That person, the type of super energy person. And then there's the other person, they're always tired. They're always cold. They always need to take a nap. It takes them forever to recover when they get sick. Wounds might heal slowly. Like these are people, they tend to be more associated with older people because that's what happens when you decay many times, right? They're all the same species, same planet, same humans, but they have wildly different energy levels. Why is that? So I'm going to use I'm going to use an analogy here that'll make everything click, right? So imagine two cars, identical cars. You bought them at the same time. They came off the same assembly line, everything, same engine. They're both running on the exact same gasoline. They perform in the same way in every component of their function. But when we look at the energy, we see one engine is producing much better engine than another. It's because one car has been maintained better. More oil changes when they should be. Clean air filter. The spark plugs have been replaced when they should have. And the car is running like a dream. It accelerates well, gets good gas mileage. The exhaust is clean. The other car, it just looks like a mess. The oil might be old and sludgy. The cylinders are all dumped up. The spark plugs aren't firing well. The air intake is clogged, right? So if you put the same fuel in both cars, you go to the pump, same premium fuel in both cars. Oh my gosh, I'm going to eat the same diet. I'm making sure that I get the same sleep, right? The same fuel is going to both tanks. One car is running well. One car is struggling. One car is sluggish. It's inefficient. It might be belching black smoke. Same fuel, completely different outputs. And that's what's happening inside of your body between the two people, one who's the high energy friend, and then the other person who's maybe low energy. And I'm eating the same stuff as Charlie, the energy guy, but if they're not running the same engine, if that engine isn't running as efficiently, you're not going to get the same energy production. But it's not just the fuel in, it's how do you use that fuel? So here's where it gets tricky. And this is where I see energy is hard to pin down. As I get an esoteric friend at the party that's always got like the coolest new fashion on. You don't know, is it normal? Is that? With a car, you can pop the hood, you can run diagnostics, you can figure out exactly what's wrong. With the human, not so much, right? It's like trying to troubleshoot a spaceship while you're still inside of a spaceship. Then you're flying through the atmosphere. You're going right near the sun. But you know what? We got a little bit of a low thrust. Can you get no? Like you're in the spaceship, you're cruising along. It's hard to understand it when you're in it. And that's what happens in the body because there are so many things that can mess up your mitochondrial function. So let me throw a couple things out at you that will affect mitochondrial function we see in many people. The first one, environmental toxins, heavy metals. These are notorious for tanking mitochondrial efficiency. You're doing everything right. You're like, oh, I'm eating well, I'm sleeping, I'm doing everything. But if you have an environmental exposure that's messing with your cells, the energy production is going to suffer. Right? So that's something you do want to take a look at. Another thing is a nutrient deficiency. Something as simple as a low vitamin B12 can wreck your entire energy metabolism. Your mitochondria need specific nutrients to function. The same way that you might have a computer that needs specific programs to function right. If the mitochondria don't have these nutrients, they can't operate in their program. And if you're not getting them running well, they're not going to operate and produce the energy you want. Also, genetic factors. You might have an enzyme that's deficient. And there's a deficiency that we see a lot. It's called the mother deficiency or MTHFR, which is a genetic variation that affects the way the body processes methylation. And if you're not proficient with that, it can affect the mitochondria. There are supplements you can do, but unless you know, how do you know to supplement? Additionally, and this is a big one, mitochondrial density. Some people have more mitochondria in every cell than others. But even more than that, you can lose mitochondria density over time if you're not exercising, if you have chronic stress, if you're not operating within your healthy lifestyle choices. And similarly, you can make more mitochondria over time if you operate within these healthy boundaries, right? And this is just scratching the surface. There are countless number of variables at play here. Right. And sometimes when I say this, people get like, oh my gosh, I'm so overwhelmed. Like, from genetically, I lost the lottery. I'm not doing well. It's not the case because you can start functioning differently today. You can do some testing. We do, blood testing, looking for deficiencies or metals. These are specific issues we look for. But even easier, you can just start to make some lifestyle changes now. Start supplementing and make some lifestyle changes in lifestyle medicine that will make everything be better, specifically the mitochondria in your body, because there's some universal lifestyle strategies that improve energy production for almost anybody. No matter who you are, you can probably benefit from these interventions. There's some people might be on the edge with, genetic problems or exposure problems, but most of us, all we have to do is just do a little bit, right? So in the future, we're going to be talking about some strategies we can use, some ways we can enhance mitochondrial activity. We've already spoken about them before. Sleep, diet, your ability to exercise, all these things will affect mitochondrial density and build better function for cellular repair, because essentially your energy is for cellular repair. Managing your stress techniques will help. Getting rid of environmental toxins and detox protocols can help. Can't change your genetics. Well, I mean, we can, but I don't recommend, doing that right now. But you can influence how your mitochondria function by supplementing your genetic deficiencies if those are there. Right? You can optimize efficiency of your cells' energy production with small little steps and make your body more resilient. Because here's the really great thing about energy. It's not just about like, are you tired or you're not tired? That's kind of the baseline. If you're tired all the time, you're a bad spot. Right? You're in barely survival mode. But real energy production, that's about thriving. It's about recovering faster from working out, recovering faster from illness, being more resilient against stressors in your life. It's about performing at the highest level that you can in everything you do. Your job, your family, your relationships, your hobbies, everything you do in life. The more that you have energy to spare, the better you will be. And it's about being that person that just doesn't survive and I made it through another week. But it's about being the person who crushes it every week. And the best part, you don't have to be a super biohacker in a lab basement to make this happen. Right? So I do live the biohacking all the time because I'm educating people about it. But if you just understand the basic principles and apply them consistently, that's your foundation. That'll bring you 85% of the way there. And that's really what energy means in the context of this program. Getting to the point where you're focusing on the base foundation. I was at a party on the weekend and someone pulled me aside. Like, look, I know you're a biohacking expert. What do I do? I'm like, stop drinking the alcohol you're drinking. Go to bed at a regular time. Oh, I don't know if I want to do that. Really? Like, I mean, you have to make some choices if you want to optimize the cellular powerhouses in your body and unlock the energy that you didn't even know you had. Right? Until you do that, pay attention to your energy levels. Notice when you feel vibrant. Notice when you feel like you're starting to crash. Start thinking about what might be affecting your personal engine, how much you might be poisoning your system. Right? Anything that you can do that gives you benefit, try it. See if it works for you. That's about it for today. That's going to wrap up our deep dive into energy and mitochondrial function. And I want to hear from you. Seriously, I do want to hear from you. This podcast works best when it's a conversation, not just a lecture. And I do hear from you. And thank you so much for reaching out and giving me ideas to talk about next. But if you have any questions about what we covered today, if you're dealing with a health issue, even if you just want to share your story or just get in touch with me, there's maybe a specific topic you want me to hear about, or you want to hear about, or you want me to tackle the next time that we're on a podcast, reach out to me. I'm always open. I'll read your messages. I'll get back to you, as quickly as I can. You want to get in touch with us? Just email us, quartellchiropractic@gmail.com. That's the easiest way. We're on Instagram. We're on Facebook. You can drop us a DM, drop a comment. Let us know, what's resonating with you or what kind of questions you're wrestling with. If you have some sort of health problem you want to address. I do generally love hearing your feedback. The wins, the struggles, if things are working for you, if things aren't working for you. It does help me know what's landing and what we need to explore a little bit further in depth and, understand, unpack more, if you will. So don't be shy, get in touch. And until then, pay attention to your body signals. Make sure that you notice your energy patterns. Try and remember that you don't always have to do everything perfectly. You just want to try to do it a little bit better than what you've been doing before. And this way, you'll find you have way more control over your body than you think you have. This is Dr. Quartell. Thanks for being here, and we'll see you next time.